Welcome to the Mojo Mundi podcast, where it's all about magic, manifesting, and movement. I'm Ginny Watts, the Dancing Witch, and this episode is titled, What Can I Say? I was originally contemplating the focus of this podcast in the immediate aftermath of the murder of another United States citizen by individuals operating under the auspices of and with shielding from the Department of Homeland Security. The irony of that sentence is chilling, but it wasn't what was impelling me to create the podcast. I was watching the evening news with my husband. I don't normally watch the news. It's too great a challenge for me to remain in my whole self when I do. I leap out into the realm of the other and ignore deity within and all around. On this particular evening, however, the focus of the report sunk deeply into the life of the victim of the shooting. As I heard the words of his parents, the solidarity with those who loved and respected victims of other incidents involving the Department of Homeland Security, the powerful ache of loss and grief, I found myself returning to the sacredness of death. I didn't understand how that might evolve in the process of writing for this podcast, and I was willing to allow the message to unfold. In the meantime, I was heading into a week that would culminate with the Fearless Women's Summit being held for the first time in my state. Through a friend, Yamama, the World Music and Dance Ensemble of which I am a member, was invited to perform. We were also invited to have a table to advertise our retreat, scheduled for the end of March. My sacred sister Stormy and I agreed to commit to staying the whole day, while our bandmates agreed to schlep all our drums back to my house after our midday performance. We were rehearsed, organized, loaded up, and ready to go. And so it was that yesterday, 1 week after the murder, I found myself spending the day with women from all over Montana and across the United States, discussing, practicing, and celebrating empowerment, authenticity, courage, healing, and love. As the day progressed, I witnessed myself holding simultaneous thoughts, feelings, and sensations of joy and tenderness, hope and uncertainty, presence and withdrawal. I listened to women tell of great traumas, sudden life-threatening illnesses, abuse, betrayal, breakdown, in the context and from the viewpoint of struggle into survival, into surrender, to transformation, to thriving. It was a moment-to-moment invitation to stand in the coincidentia oppositorum. I observed moments when I questioned the complete lack of acknowledgement of what was going on in the outside world. I witnessed my logical assessment of the thought process that might lead to setting all political viewpoints or external issues as off-limits or not the purview of the event. Even now, my brain tosses up another possible reason. Maybe all these speakers had their presentations long prepared, perhaps years in the making. I myself had written words for our performance that only very subtly nodded to the mayhem. I recognized my emotional and defensive response of judgment about myself and others. And then I relaxed into simply being present, partly by choice, partly by distraction. The Fearless Women's Summit was powerful, uplifting, and grounding. We connected and created a community that openly demonstrated vulnerability, embraced, and embracing. In this gathering, I witnessed women not just talking about their fears, but taking action even as they were feeling the fear, and feeling it standing in the spotlight in front of a theater full of women. And each of those speakers was met with compassion, empathy, admiration, encouragement, and delight. Women spent breaks traveling from table to table, approaching each vendor with genuine open-hearted curiosity and a willingness to share the parts of their story that meshed with the offerings of the person before them. It was nourishing to be listened to be trusted, to be offered a part of another woman's meaningful experience, to be hugged firmly with commitment. Where does death stand in the face of the rising up? Is it possible to hold both loss and finding, despair and hope, ending and renewal? Do we do a death injustice by celebrating in death's wake the ongoing flow of life? I find myself returning to the sacredness of death. We've talked before about allowing death, about the gift of death, the big deaths and the little deaths. There is more. Death is a threshold between manifested and potential, between physical and etheric. Death is the ultimate tender whisper and loving cry of God, reminding us that we are part of something so much greater, something that we do not control, something that we are. Near-death experiences frequently include a sense of going home, of being embraced and held for all eternity, of returning to the Tao. What about those who are the observers of death, but who remain on this side of the threshold? My mind is flooded with all the faces of observers. Those who are the implement of death through intent or negligence or accident. Those who are connected to the dead, who often feel left behind and still tethered to souls that are once again a part of potential. Those observers who are outside the particularities of death, aware and disconnected. Is there a right way to answer the invitation that death offers, or at least better and worse ways? As always, for me, the answer lies with allowing. If we allow that Creator is love, if we allow that in our human forms we are invited to experiment, to co-create from exactly where we are, if we allow that Goddess does not judge us, if we allow that Allah is present in each moment within and all around us, if we allow that we have true free will, we find that we are led to allow that the answer to our question is both yes and no. Why? Why is there not a necessary response to powerful and sacred death? It's sacred. Shouldn't there be some rules, some law, so we know how to honor the sanctity of death? Let us ask ourselves, would a rule about how humans should respond really make death more profound? Or would a foolish response blunt death's majesty? No. Death and deity cannot be diminished by our human choices. And yet, our responses to any situation do impact us. Whether we choose to honor death or ignore it, embrace death or revile it, feel into death or shield our hearts, each choice co-creates something different. While we do not pass over the threshold and into the all, we do stand at the crossroads, which is a threshold by another name. When we act, we have taken the next step beyond the crossroads and passed into the realm of potential as we experience it in physical form. Little death and capital D death, mirrored journeys. The crossroads is behind us, and we have stepped into a subtle or dramatic metamorphosis. We shift or solidify energetically with each choice we make. So doesn't that mean that some choices are better than others? Isn't it bad if we ignore our intuition or emotional guidance system or whatever? This kind of confusion arises from simplifying co-creation, deity, and our relationship with deity into polarized metaphors. There are no wrong or bad results in an experiment or the creative process. Each act reveals information in the form of contrast or harmony, with our hypothesis, with our vision, with our desired or expected outcome. In the same way, co-creating is sparked by and sustained through the flow of contrast and harmony, the inspired unfolding. Even if our response to death results in more contrast, that is not good or bad. It simply is, and each new experience is a source of guidance, an invitation to curiosity. In any moment, at any crossroads, we have the choice to avoid or step into the contrast. What helps me feel even braver when I stand at a crossroads is the knowledge that Goddess is there with me. If there is something that will be in harmony with my whole self, yet I choose something else, I know from experience, mine and others, that I will find myself at another crossroads, and the option for that harmony will be presented again and again and again. Deity supports us, knows our heart's desire, and is offering as many opportunities as we need to manifest what we are here to co-create. I look back over the progression of my experiences in the last week. I can't say here is the one right answer for how we respond when we are faced with tragedy. I can't say there is a single reason why something happens. What can I say? I can say that the murder of one young, earnest, heart-sickened man brought more and more people out into the streets to embody healing, change, justice, courage, unity, compassion, truth, and anger, outrage, fear, disgust, condemnation. I can say that standing on the outside, an observer, seeing the violence, seeing the anguish, hearing the loved ones left behind, I suddenly felt on the inside of it all. I experienced in my body the energetic impact of this one soul leaving. I felt the humbling beauty and wisdom of death. I felt the invitation to look around at what is left and recognized I was standing at a crossroads with a spider web of paths to choose from. I can say that I chose to go with the path that I had chosen months before. I can say that I went to Fearless Women's Summit. I can say that by doing so, I stepped into a hologram of the world at large in each woman's story. I can say that no one, including myself, spoke overtly about Alex Preddy, and every one of us addressed the path of trauma, healing, community, compassion, courage, fear, spirit, and transformation that was absolutely a part of his life and death. Just as we cannot disconnect from Creator, neither can we disconnect from creation. We are all connected. We are all related to the victim and the perpetrator, to the pain and the healing, to the contrast and the harmony. And each of us has a unique journey. We each stand at the crossroads again and again. What does our heart tell us? What does our soul tell us? What does Creator tell us? What do we choose? That is not for me to say. If you find yourself at a crossroads and are struggling to hear your inner guidance over the noise of the outside world, I am holding a dedicated space just for you to explore your next steps. Connect with me to ignite your inner wisdom and light the way forward on your living path. You can reach me via my website or email or on Facebook at Caravan of Dreams MT. Our music is used by permission of the artist, Sean Phoenix. Thank you, Sean. And thank you to Bozeman Public Library for the Workbench Sound Studio located in beautiful downtown Bozeman, Montana. If you would like to learn more about allowing and how to find your unique style of manifesting, please visit my website, caravanofdreamsmt.com, or email me at dancingwitchmt@gmail.com. This is Ginny Watts, the Dancing Witch. Till next time, blessed be.